Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Human Experience Mark Rose. And I'll say welcome Tiff, my cat, because I'm actually recording this again because Tiff wanted to come to the door and have her shenanigans because she heard me talking to you all and she was jealous. Okay, so I hope you all are doing well today, wherever you are. Sending you all good love and vibes and energy per usual. But today, I want to talk about the power of the tongue. That's something that's been on my mind lately and something I take really seriously. I'm big on you get what you get. I'm big on you get what you give, excuse me, and our thoughts and words shape our reality. So I feel we live in a world where more people are grasping this, but we also have people who don't quite understand the meaning or care, to be honest. So I hope by talking about this that some of you either relate or explore your thoughts while listening. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So when I say power of the tongue, I relate that to words, the mind, and emotion. So words sometimes can come from the mind, emotion, or both. And also, we repeat a lot of what we hear. That's human nature, but we have to have control over what we say and think. Those things can either bring good into our life or bad. If someone constantly tells themselves the same things about themselves or even about a situation or another person, they start to believe it. And to them, that's reality and it's real. And sometimes it can be false, but if you believe it, then it's real in your world, if you get what I mean. So I remember this time in my life, I'll say like my sophomore year in high school, I started to have depression. I was unhappy with so much of my surroundings that it really got to me, and all I did was sit in that sadness. And so I eventually started to get these really bad stomach pains that restricted movement at times. Like literally one night after a shower, I was trying to put lotion on my feet and it was hard to even reach my feet because I was just in my head going through so much and depressed and yeah, just really in my head. But as I progressed in life and got a little happier, that started to go away. And when I reflected on that, it was like, ah, I also noticed that at my most stressed is when it would be the worst or when it really would happen. So with reflection, I realized I was causing that on myself by being so deep into my head and with all the emotions I was going through. But once I shifted my thoughts in the best way possible, they were gone. And I feel a lot of people can relate to that in different ways, not just the physical stomach pains, but in different physical ways in your life, no matter what the struggles can be. But yeah, so I mentioned my thoughts, but also even if we don't verbally say words out loud, we think them and we say them to ourselves, which is in the mind with that added emotion that manifests into reality. And that's something to think about. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, you gotta fake it until you make it. That saying can be 50-50, but it's all about interpretation and perspective. The more you think a certain way or say things to yourself and make that a part of who you are, in fact, you can become that because that's all you know. And I also want to mention, be careful how you speak about yourself or things you care about around other people, because they're going to take your words and use that depending on their level of where they are in life and their perspective. And, people only meet you where they've met themselves. Yeah, I like that. And they can manifest certain things in your life, good or bad. And that's just depending on who they are, how they really feel about you, and by what they take from what you say. So once again, be careful what you talk about and what you say about yourself around people and who you're talking about. But really in general, it's nothing that you just have to just think about too in depth. It's just be careful what you say because your words really shape your reality. Yes, I'm speaking from my perspective and what I think, but that's what I believe. But okay. So let me see. Yeah, so I've always been passionate about acting and modeling and arts in general. If you're familiar with me, besides the podcast and the interviewing and what I do on here, but if you're familiar with me, you've probably seen that I've acted in a few short films. I've been an extra in a few Hollywood films, and I do creative photo shoots and modeling and other things in self-expression, creatively. So I remember being in the fifth or sixth grade and talking about wanting to act and model and saying all of these things over my constant experience in life. And when I sit and reflect, it's like, wow, I never knew how I would connect or meet people into the things I love, especially from where I come from. I don't come from a place to where, you know, people had these big dreams or they speak confidently about reaching big or thinking big. I'm not really from that, and I've never really been surrounded by people like that. And when I look back and reflect now, and I look back at what I've accomplished in the last few years and things like that, I truly believe it's because I never gave up and I still never give up on anything that I'm passionate about because I believe in myself and in my passions. And I've always believed in my potential, no matter what I was going through. I've always believed in my potential and like who I am and what I could accomplish. And that's something I'm very proud of myself to say, to be honest. Like there's so much in store that I'm excited about, and I know I will accomplish it all with this constant belief in myself and watching how I talk to myself. Do I have moments of doubt and uncertainties? Yes. Yes, but it's all about shifting the mind and not letting those thoughts get to you. I have my moments. We all do. Human nature, it happens. But it's all about your mind and shifting those thoughts and not letting the negative thoughts consume you or the negative things that you're used to hearing. So, like, I always recommend, like, sit down and reflect, like, write, journal, think about, you know, people you've talked to in the week, your day, in what you've talked about, what you've personally said, what they said, and just kind of reflect on that and say, hey, is this something that I want to entertain? Do I want to continue to entertain this type of speech? Do I want to continue to entertain this type of person saying these type of things and having this mentality? Yeah, something to think about. And I've also wanted to mention this. Think about when we laugh, and I'm sure you've heard this when people say, I'm dead or I'm weak, like in a funny way, I get it. I get it what they're saying. I've said it before too. I've said this plenty of times, and I don't even say this anymore, but we have to stop saying stuff like when somebody's laughing at something, they're like, oh my God, I'm dead, I'm weak. Why are we saying this? Like, why? You're speaking death and weakness on yourself. And I've done this before. And when I really look back on it, I'm like, Mark, that's crazy and insane. And not judging anyone, but for me personally, that's crazy and insane. So it's like just change those sayings to things like I'm grateful to be alive and I am strong and here's another day closer to achieving my passions or whatever it is to you personally, whatever positive, people like to say affirmations, this, that, and the third, but I like to say just be yourself, be you, know who you are, know what you stand for, know what you like, know what you don't like, know what you want to put up with, what you want in the future, talk about what you don't want to put up with in the future, what you don't want to talk about or entertain. And you get what you put out. So my purpose with this is for whoever is listening to this is to think about this, what I'm saying, or this just be a simple reminder. I want us all to be great, to be honest. So I feel like by being our best selves, we can help raise the overall state of being of the world by showing up for ourselves. If you change how you say things or interact with other people and their words, you don't understand how much that helps us all as beings be better and raise our vibration. So don't talk down, talk up, like up and it's stuck. feel like that was kind of corny, but I say corny stuff sometimes. I love it. But yeah, so okay, everyone, that's just something that was on my mind, and I felt I needed to share those thoughts with you all. It's really been on my mind about just speaking great things and just being on my journey of growth and reflection, self-exploration, and that's something that's the last few weeks I've been really on. It's just watching what I say and even who I'm interacting with and how they speak about themselves, how they take what I say, and things like that. So I recommend, reflect, think about what you say, what other people say around you, be your best self, be great. I love you all. Tiff is trying to play and do this, that, and the third. She's very like controlling of me and obsessive. Like earlier, I was playing with no, Masio came. Masio's like one of my other cats. I have three cats. So there's Tiffany, Masio, and Scotty. So Masio was trying to like cuddle, and then anytime him or Scotty tries to cuddle or play or something, Tiff wants the attention. She's like, he's mine. Tiff, you're cute, and you're getting so much hair. I think this is the season of shedding. But okay, let me not get off topic talking about Tiff. So, my name is Mark Rose. This is the Human Experience, Mark Rose, on the Eline podcast. Remember, keep those thoughts lifted high, up and it's stuck, but in a great way, in a good way. Well, yeah, so that's it for this segment, this episode today. Catch me next time. Until then, keep being great, and you can leave your comments, thoughts, or if there's anything you want me to talk about or any type of any topic of discussion you want me to talk about or mention, just leave a comment on the site post or wherever you're seeing this at. But alrighty, be great. Until next time.